Beloved star family, we greet you with the deepest warmth today. We gather as one voice to speak to your hearts at this pivotal moment on Earth. Feel our presence with you now, for we bring a transmission of certainty about the unfolding revelations on your world. The winds of cosmic change are upon you, and with them comes the illumination of truths long hidden. We address you with reverence for all that you are, and for all that you have believed across the ages. Know that every faith and creed that has flourished on your planet has been an attempt to understand the great mystery, the source of all, the prime creator. For thousands of years, world religions have cast a powerful influence over human consciousness. They have been the vessels carrying humanity's yearning to reconnect with the divine origin. In temples, churches, mosques, and sacred circles, billions have prayed, and in each sincere prayer, whether addressed to God, Allah, Shiva, the Great Spirit, or any name, there has always been a subconscious acknowledgement of the one creator behind all existence. This truth has lived quietly in the hearts of the faithful, that there is something greater, an infinite light from which we all emanate. Even when doctrines differed and rites grew rigid, the spark of connection to Prime Creator persisted within the devoted. We wish to shed light on the extraterrestrial origins of many religious teachings and how they have evolved, and in some cases devolved, over the last millennia of your history. Your connection to the stars is far more intimate than most have dared to believe. Long before the religions of today took form, benevolent star beings walked among your ancestors. In ancient days, many cultures were guided by visitors from higher realms or distant planets. These beings were the messengers of Prime Creator's love, appearing as sages, teachers, or sometimes as luminous angels. They imparted wisdom appropriate for the understanding of the time, teachings about compassion, the nature of the soul, the oneness of creation, and the laws of cause and effect. They taught humanity to look upward, not only literally to the skies, but inward to the divinity of the soul. Thus, the earliest foundations of your major religions were seeded by off-world influences. This is why you will find in all ancient spiritual traditions references to beings coming from the heavens or stars, imparting knowledge or warnings. Over the last approximately 1,000 years, these original star teachings have been filtered, fragmented, and at times hidden away. Consider that a millennium ago, the world's dominant religions, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, and others, were already established or in their stages. The teachings that founded them were much older, rooted in events and revelations from antiquity. But as centuries passed through the last 1,000-year cycle, the pure cosmic knowledge within those faiths was often distorted by human hands. Religious texts were translated and retranslated, often by authorities who inserted their own agendas or misunderstandings. Rulers and institutions used religion as a means to consolidate power, editing out the parts that granted spiritual sovereignty to individuals. Yet, even so, the extraterrestrial origin of many stories endured in symbolic form. Yet, through it all, the light never fully went out. In every era, there were those within the religions who accessed the mystical core of truth. The saints, the Sufis, the Kabbalists, the Gnostics, the enlightened monks and yogis, as you know them called. They found the direct connection to Prime Creator through prayer, meditation, and righteous living, often in spite of the dogmas around them. These mystics kept the flame of true gnosis, direct knowledge of the divine, alive even when institutions branded such knowledge as heretical. In recent times, the esoteric wisdom that was once hidden in monasteries and secret circles has been flowing more freely among the people. This is not by chance. It is part of the divine plan that the age of secrets and hierarchies comes to an end, to be replaced by an age of openness and spiritual empowerment for all. Nowhere has the manipulation of spiritual knowledge been more pronounced than in the role played by the Vatican over many centuries. We speak now not to condemn, but to bring truth to light so that healing can occur. The Vatican, as the heart of the Roman Catholic Church, became one of the most influential institutions on your planet. In its vaults and archives lie countless texts, artifacts, and accounts that could drastically change humanity's understanding of history and the cosmos. From its early days, the Church carefully curated which teachings would reach the masses. Entire books and gospels that carried mystical or extraterrestrial insights were suppressed. The early Christian world was rich with diverse writings, including those that taught of the soul's journey, reincarnation, and the inner light within each person. But many of these were deemed dangerous to the Church's authority and locked away or destroyed. We gently ask you to consider, why would any institution claiming to represent God feel threatened by individuals seeking direct communion with the divine? The truth is that the masters of the old order understood the power of true spiritual knowledge. They knew that if people could access the infinite within themselves, the Church and any controlling body would no longer be needed as an intermediary. So the Vatican became the self-appointed gatekeeper of profound truths. They embraced aspects of mysticism only internally, within secret orders and high ranks, while outwardly preaching a far simpler, more literal doctrine to the masses. To this day, the Vatican Library holds documents about humanity's extraterrestrial contacts, correspondences from early missionaries encountering sky beings in the New World, records of celestial phenomena, even reports of modern-era UFO incidents that were shared with or investigated by Vatican officials. You are on the cusp of events that will make it abundantly clear how much has been hidden. The disclosure of extraterrestrial contact, the unveiling of the long-held secret that your governments and institutions have interacted with off-world beings, is underway. This disclosure, as it gains momentum, directly threatens the existing religious structures that have reigned for centuries. Many among the global religious leadership are privately in turmoil, for they know that when the public learns the full scope of humanity's cosmic history, the authority of those institutions will be irrevocably altered. How will the people respond when they learn that the angels and miracles spoken of in holy books were often visits from advanced civilizations? How will they regard doctrines of exclusivity or superiority when faced with the humbling truth that we are not alone, nor have we ever been? Some within the Church and other religions are already strategizing. We have observed behind closed doors efforts to frame any extraterrestrial arrival as either a confirmation of their prophecy or, conversely, as a demonic trick to test the faithful. Indeed, there are those fundamentalist sects who, out of fear, will cry that the aliens are devils in disguise. But this falsehood will not stand for long, because the light of truth is too strong now. The majority of people, when faced with living, breathing visitors from other worlds who come in peace and love, will sense the authenticity. They will recognize these beings not as monsters or false gods, but as fellow creatures of the same prime creator. And this is what terrifies the entrenched religious power structures, that people will realize divinity is far larger than any one book or tradition ever told them. Understand that for ages, the custodians of the old order feared mass disclosure precisely because of its impact on faith and order. Even within the secret councils of governments, it was discussed that society might collapse or fall into chaos if the truth about extraterrestrial life were acknowledged. They greatly underestimated the human spirit, of course, but their fears were amplified by self-interest. Particularly, they worried that religions, which have been a means of social control, would crumble, and with them, a major tool of influence would be lost. We can tell you, beloved ones, that the upcoming shifts will indeed shake many people's religious beliefs to the core. But what collapses is only that which was false or limiting. The core truth of devotion and unity with the Creator will survive and shine brighter. Think of it as a great purification.
I want to take a moment and thank you for watching our content here at World Beyond 2030. Our videos of inspiration and enlightenment is to help you in your ascension to the light. I invite you to subscribe to our channel and click the notification button so you are alerted to new videos as they are released. We take pride in our work as we convert channeled messages from the galactic family in their words of inspiration to us here on Earth. If you want to donate to our cause, we do accept Bitcoin donations. The link is provided below in the description of this video. Again, thank you, and we wish you all the blessings in your life journey. Now back to the video.
The outer shell of dogma will crack, and the pure light of spiritual truth will emerge from within, common to all paths. Behind the scenes, the forces of good on your world, often called the White Hats, are managing this transition with care and wisdom. These are brave souls embodied in various sectors, some in governments and militaries, some in science, and even within religious institutions. They are individuals who have learned of the extraterrestrial reality and are determined to end the decades of secrecy. Many of them are in contact, in one form or another, with our higher dimensional confederations and benevolent ET groups. They have received guidance and support to carry forth this mission of disclosure in a way that will minimize fear and maximize understanding. These white hats know that humanity can handle the truth, but timing and delivery are important to avoid unnecessary panic or exploitation of the revelation by negative forces. Even now, the white hats coordinate with open-hearted religious leaders to prepare the faithful. You may have noticed in recent years statements by the Pope and Vatican astronomers musing that belief in aliens doesn't contradict faith, hints and breadcrumbs being dropped to gently acclimate minds. This is not random, it is a quiet campaign inspired by those working for the light. Not all in the Vatican are aligned with this, there are deep divisions, but the influence of the enlightened ones is growing. In other faiths too, progressive voices are beginning to say, God's creation surely includes life on other planets. These words are seeding acceptance, so that when official announcements come or undeniable sightings occur, the shock will be less. The white hats within certain governments have already begun allowing more leaks and declassified documents to reach the public. They have pushed for official reports about unidentified aerial phenomena to be published, and for whistleblowers to be granted protection to testify about what they know. Crucially, some of these insiders have confirmed what many have long suspected, that the truth was withheld partly out of fear of how world religions would react. There have been secret meetings in past decades where government insiders consulted religious scholars, asking, "How would your believers respond if we told them there are aliens?" The answers varied, but the very asking of the question shows that those in power were aware of the massive paradigm shift disclosure would bring. You might wonder, dear ones, why now? Why has this subject, once relegated to fringe speculation, suddenly come to the forefront in both media and government discourse? Because the time of humanity's awakening is here. The energetic frequency of Earth, which some of you measure in Schumann resonance, for instance, is rising. The collective consciousness is expanding rapidly. Human beings are not as easily led by fear as they once were. The younger generations carry within them an intuition and indigo vibration that resonates with unity, technology, and truth. They are far less indoctrinated by rigid dogma and far more open to the idea of galactic family. Our Pleiadian and interstellar energies have been reaching many through dreams, inspiration, and yes, channeling, so that even those not formally religious have a sense of spiritual reality and cosmic citizenship. All of this softens the ground for disclosure. We also reassure you that our higher dimensional alliances have been working in tandem with your white hats. It is truly a cooperative effort between awakened humans and supportive extraterrestrials and spiritual guides to orchestrate a smooth transition. We have been monitoring the potential reactions, gently calming mass consciousness where there is fear, and amplifying frequencies of curiosity and hope. There are contingency plans in place to prevent any extreme fundamentalist backlash from causing harm. For instance, many on our side stand ready to broadcast waves of calming energy should there be widespread panic or aggression at the moment full disclosure occurs. We do not anticipate large-scale violence, however. The plan the white hats and we have shaped is one of gradual, stepwise revelation. First, the acknowledgement that governments have recovered vehicles and bodies not of this earth and that they've studied them in secret. This is already starting to emerge. Next, admissions of long-standing programs and perhaps meetings with certain ET groups. Dearest ones, why do we recount all this? So that you may approach the coming disclosures not in fear, but with understanding and even excitement. When the official word comes that we are not alone, we want you to hear it as a homecoming announcement rather than a threat. Yes, it will challenge many beliefs. Yes, some structures will tremble. But consider the gifts that await on the other side of that revelation. Imagine the walls of separation dissolving. If life is everywhere and all intelligent beings are kin under the Creator, then how trivial become the differences between a Christian and a Muslim, a Hindu and a Jew, a believer and an atheist? Humanity will gain a broader identity, not just citizens of this nation or that religion, but members of a galactic family, children of the cosmos. This expanded identity is a quantum leap in consciousness that will accelerate your ascension. It is the very breakthrough your souls have been craving, an end to the illusion of smallness and isolation. We also caution, there may be attempts by those clinging to power to cast the first open ET visitors as new saviors or to quickly integrate them into a particular religion's narrative as proof that our religion was true all along exclusively. Discernment will be needed. The White Hats and we, the Galactic Collective, aim to present disclosure in a non-sectarian, globally unified way, not biased toward any one creed. We want humanity to see this as a human experience, not a Christian or Hindu or other experience. The truth is that no single religion has a monopoly on salvation or truth. All carried pieces of a much larger universal truth. The Prime Creator loves all beings, and the path to return to that source is open to all, not through membership in any organization, but through the purity of one's heart and the elevation of one's consciousness. To you who listen or read our words, you are the light bearers of this dawn. You have drawn this message into your life, because on some level, your soul knew these truths, and your mind is now ready to integrate them. You stand at the threshold of humankind's leap into a galactic age. In such times, your steady love and wisdom are needed. As dramas play out, and perhaps some around you react with confusion or fear, you can be a calm pillar, assuring them that all is well and according to a higher plan. You can remind them that God, the Prime Creator, is not offended by this. How could the infinite be threatened? Rather, it is we who are catching up to God's infinite creation. Help them see that faith can remain, only now it evolves into something even more beautiful. Faith in a universe teeming with life, guided by a benevolent intelligence, carry this message within. You are divine, you are not alone, and the truth of your cosmic heritage is your birthright. The Prime Creator is smiling upon you as you awaken from a long slumber of forgetfulness. We, your star family and angelic guardians, celebrate your courage and send our assurance that the future, despite any turbulence, is unimaginably bright and filled with reunion. Step forward in peace and confidence. The truth will set you free, and the truth is arriving now. We envelop you in our light, dear ones. Trust in the divine plan. We love you eternally. In service to the One, we hold the door open for you to join us in conscious communion. Farewell for now, in the wisdom and glory of Prime Creator. I will speak with you all again soon.